CHICKEN. Use the code chicken in the shop. CHICKEN. Use the code chicken.
Hey guys, the chicken is here. We're back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, I can't get my little chicken sign behind here to light up, so you're gonna have to just imagine that it is lit up for right now. But more importantly than chicken signs, guys, what we're gonna go over today is the ultimate Warships season starting guide. So everything that you guys need to know to start season 27 and to start every Warship season in general. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, make sure you leave a like on the video. There's a little thumbs up button. Let's try to get, you know what would be cool is if we could get 200 likes. I don't know if I've ever had a video with 200 likes. I definitely get over 200 views usually. So if we get 200 likes just for this one, that would be pretty cool. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm excited for season 27, and I want to do this little primer guide. We're going to talk about it and, you know, what we can expect, what we've learned over the last few seasons. I only have 2 top 500 finishes, but hopefully we can add another one of those to this season. So we got Crab. Crab is here by the time this video is out. So instead, we're going to take on Gearheart while we do this. So the most important thing to each and every Warship season, and we always harp on this, is to plan ahead. The absolute worst thing that you could do in Warships is to just go in blind and unlock a bunch of stuff on the tech tree. You're just not going to have fun that way. You know, it might be satisfying for the first day or two, like, oh, I'm going to make my own path and do my own thing. Usually it doesn't end up working out. You just end up losing, and then, you know, it kind of sucks all the fun out of the game. And that's not what we want to do. We play the game to have fun. Some of us like to compete more, more interested in that kind of aspect. But at the end of the day, we play to have fun, and if you just do your own thing, usually you're not going to enjoy doing it. So always plan ahead. There's different ways you can do this. You know, obviously you can watch the videos. I think the best way, you know, with the sneak peeks, it's kind of just like a shovel full of information. It's like, here's everything, which is good. You know, it's helpful to know that. But I think what the most important thing is to be able to watch the live streams, because the live streams is just, you know, we're all, whoever you watch, I don't care. We're just trying to figure it out on the fly, what's going to work, and then you get it in like real time of what's working and what's not working. You know, and if you wait a little bit, it's very tricky. The start of the season is so important. That's why we make these videos. But yeah, so I think we're ready to Zuka this one next, eh? Let's go barrage, artillery, and something like that. Yeah, so it's so important to get off to a good start at the beginning of the season. You know, you can watch your sneak peeks. It's helpful to know, like, have a plan for how many keys you're going to start out with. So don't, like, say, a stupid example, say heavy choppers are right after 3 engines for whatever reason. You know, it's helpful to know exactly how many keys you're going to have, so you can plan, like, okay, I'm going to be able to get heavy choppers day 1, or I'm going to have to go something else and maybe take a different path to survive until I get to them. Now, we always want to push right away. Now, this you got to kind of take with a grain of salt. Oh, we got a microwave over there. That's going to be interesting. You want to take this with a grain of salt because you want to push right away, but not at the expense of making correct tech decisions. That's what it really all comes down to, is who can plan out their tech the best. And, you know, whoever takes the best tech path the soonest is going to win. And, you know, it's important to get your chest timers moving, but you know, it's got to be done the right way, or it's not going to work. So yes, pushing right away is important, because the longer you wait, you know, to open up your chest on day 1. I know it starts the middle of the night and it's a pain for everybody, I know. Let's go like this. I didn't flare the core. Oh, chicken. I should have just let them clear out like that flamethrower and other stuff. That probably would have been better. Would have saved me a shock at least on the next one. But yeah, so plan your stuff. Push right away. At least get your first chest, and then just kind of hang back, and then just see, you know, what the meta is, and then go from there. I think that's honestly the most optimal way to do it. I never do that because I'm always streaming, but yeah. So there's tech riding, there's base riding. Now this is, you know, it seems easy to understand, but it's actually kind of complicated. You know, what I've learned, especially the last few seasons, you know, tech riding is only to be done by, like, it's pretty rare that a lot of people are rushing. Tech riding is only when you can get to something that's really good before everybody else. I mean, if you're tech riding, for example, we'll use this stupid heavy chopper example. Say you're tech riding and you're skipping everything to get heavy choppers early. Is my flare ever going to go down? My God, I tapped it like 6 times. This attack is a wash. If you're tech riding and you're early to do it and you're skipping out on stuff, you're not going to end up winning. You're just going to end up kind of stuck in that zone of everybody. Let's see what we got here. Okay, that kind of worked. Kind of using lightly. But yeah, that's definitely something I picked up in the last few seasons, that only tech ride if you're out in front. So I mean, only a small percentage of players I think can actually benefit from tech riding. Obviously, you can't really kind of say anything black and white, but for the most part, you're better off just unlocking all the defenses. If you're stuck, if you don't know what to do, that's typically always the best move, is to unlock all the defenses and max them out for your engine room, especially at the beginning. Like, the more defenses you have, it's not usually a bad thing unless you're missing out on something that's really, really good. Like if we have Seekers at, right after 4 yards and no way to stop them, that's the kind of thing where we want to watch, where we're tech riding versus base riding. Yeah, we want to stick to that. The next thing is kind of an obvious one, so we want to make sure that we're changing our base layout very frequently. This was definitely a mistake that I made last season, and it's tough. It takes a long time to change your base. It's not a very easy thing to do, especially as we get up into the higher levels and we have more defenses to move around, and there's no real good way to copy the base. Typically I take a screenshot, I'll throw it on a computer somewhere, and from there I'll copy it and move everything around. So you just want to make sure that you're doing that enough to your base doesn't get stale, because if you're using the same base, you can really only get away with using the same base for like a pretty small period of time, 2-3 days tops usually, unless for whatever reason it's just what everyone's running and you're kind of stuck there. So switch the base up frequently, unless it's working. That's the only time you wouldn't change it, is if you're winning. Then obviously don't change anything because you're winning. If everything's going wrong, if what the heck was that? If you're up the creek without a paddle, then there's a few things you can address. Typically, it's the tech tree. So there's something wrong with your tech tree. You might be using the wrong troops, or you could be using the right troops and you're just using them in the wrong way. Or it's your base layout. It's typically one of those three things. The next part is having effective tech, and this kind of ties into everything that we've been talking about. Basically, when you get something that's good and you unlock something, it's not that every single time you unlock something that it's going to be helpful. A lot of times you unlock stuff and it's either just going to help you maintain as other people unlock other things, or it's really not going to help you that much at all, and it's just something on the road to get what's next. Now, you can always grind out wins, but there is definitely a benefit to pushing at certain times versus just always pushing all the time. Isn't always the best option. So something to keep in mind. I've actually found if I really geek out on this and try to optimize everything, I've actually found that playing at specific times is actually a little bit easier. So this goes back to collecting your chests at the beginning of the season. Typically when people are starting the season, most people are getting the chests at the same time, and then that trend kind of continues for the entire season. So if you're battling around that time, it's going to be a little bit easier because everyone's playing to get the chest. They might not have the best stuff, or they might not have the best layout or whatever. They're just going to do a few battles, get their chest. If you can usually pick up some easier wins if you're doing it that way versus just kind of battling all the time. And yeah, that's basically the guide. And the last part is, if you're doing really well, you got to know when to park. Typically, if you're doing really well and you're in like the top 100, you want to throw in the towel 3 or 4 days, maybe even 5 days. I've parked up to a week before the season ended, and was able to maintain my top 500 from there. So that was something that definitely happened this season. I know a lot of guys were playing, and they were grinding it out, and they went to 70 Rs and Some of them went down in rank. You know, they were at 24 and then they finished at like 23. Simply playing more. So the better option there obviously would have been to simply just stop playing. Look at all the NPC bases we got. We got so many destroys to do. Oh my god. So yeah, guys, that is your ultimate Warships season starting guide. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have more tips, some of the vets, the warship vets out there, like you know, Big Bear and Phoenix, if you guys are watching this, or anybody for that matter, definitely throw some comments, or like if you have like little jot notes or whatever, what you guys would say your list is or anything like that. Always interested to keep learning about warships, and helps everybody else out too. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is gonna wrap it up for the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or if you're excited for Mega Crab. And we'll see you next one, guys. Chicken out, back.